Emperor Palpatine, President Snow, Vladimir Putin. What do they have in common? All are dictators and authoritarians with meteoric rises in power to the ultimate positions in their respective societies. The odd one out of them is Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and that's mostly just because he's real. Born in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg in 1952, and the shadow of WW2, Putin was the descendant of a line of cooks, his grandfather being a cook for Lenin, and a line of staunch believers in communism. He was thus raised with strong faith in that system. Joining the KGB, he became an intelligence officer, proceeded to excel, and it wasn't long before he was assigned to work in Germany. Shortly after his assignment, he was present for the collapse of the Berlin Wall. In 1991, Putin resigned from his military service and proceeded to fully engage in a political career. If you like the video and find it informative, then like and subscribe for more. Now this, my viewers, is where it gets clever. In 91, Putin becomes the head of Committee for External Relations of the mayor's office in Leningrad. He was responsible for promoting international relations and foreign investment. Allegedly, he allowed his friends to create crime organizations that in turn created monopolies that regulate the gambling industry. He also engaged in money laundering and used city funds to give as loans to those same friends. This made him very popular with the oligarchs, the people who actually ran the country. In 98, he became director of the Federal Security Service, or the FSB, the successor to the KGB and the Russian Federation's primary intelligence and security organization. These guys knew everything about everyone in their entire country. Information is business, and in Russia, business is good. In late 1999, Chechnya, a neighboring country that succeeded a few years prior, decides to bomb Russia. Putin uses this as leverage in his political campaign, and people rally to his side when he claims he will avenge Russia. Later, it comes out that it is possible that Kremlin leadership and the FSB were responsible for the initial bombing, but a closed state investigation quickly shuts down all of that talk. Shortly after that, Russia puts the reins back on Chechnya and levels their capital city of Grozny, killing upwards of 80,000 people in the process. During all of this, former President Yeltsin resigns and Putin becomes interim president. When an election is held, he wins and then becomes the official president. One of the oligarchs, Mikhail Khodorkovsky, politically opposes Putin, but he is coincidentally sentenced to 14 years in prison for fraud. Now, I have a question for you. Do you know what insider trading is? Of course you do. Well, for those of you who don't, insider trading is the illegal practice of using insider knowledge of confidential information to make informed decisions that you can enact within the stock exchange. Here's an example. Let's say you worked for a company that was about to buy out another company, and this merger will increase your company's worth. If you use that information and purchase stocks before that happens, so you make a fat paycheck, you are insider trading. Now, imagine that you worked in a country where that was legal, like Russia, for instance. Imagine that you were the director of that country's intelligence service, or even its president. What could you achieve with all that information? Fast forward to 2020. Putin has been in power for over 20 years, moving between president and prime minister accordingly to assure his continued dominating presence in Russian politics. It's said he secretly has shares in Surgutneftegas and Gazprom, two massive Russian oil companies, as well as a huge stake in Swiss oil trader Gunvor. But these have all been refuted by the companies themselves and Putin. A Russian tax advisor named Sergei Magnitsky claimed that Russian officials were enacting large-scale theft from the state. He was subsequently arrested for collusion, jailed without a trial for a year, and tortured before he died in Buterka prison 7 days before he was due to be released. Many consider Jeff Bezos to be the richest man in the world, and officially that is true. However, there is a real possibility that that title belongs to Putin, with some speculating that his wealth exceeds $200 billion. He owns his country, its land, its banks, its people, and its wealth. It's been said that he uses Russia as a personal piggy bank, as he makes his loyal friends rich and his enemies disappear. What on earth could he be spending all that money on? Let's investigate. It's important that it be noted that everything following is purely speculation. Putin has denied and avoided accusations regarding his personal wealth by claiming that nearly none of it is actually his, but reports and whistleblowers appear to claim otherwise. So this guy has a nationwide bank account, but the fun part is that given his position, when Putin wants something, he either dips into state funds like he does for his 2,000-person security team, or he gets an oligarch to buy it for him like some of his yachts. Putin does not need a home given that he technically lives in the Kremlin. It's suspected that he does, though, that he actually has over 20 palaces across the world. There is a building that could be Putin's secret Italianate mansion hidden in the forest near the Black Sea at Idokopas Cape. This thing looks more like a personal cathedral with sprawling gardens, high ceilings adorned with paintings and crystal chandeliers. All the walls and furniture have gold trim. Guess how much some are estimating the property to be worth? No, higher. That's right, $1 billion, making it one of the most expensive houses to exist. A fan of the sea, Vlad enjoys spending time on his multiple yachts. Graceful, a Genesis yacht that appeared in 2013, can accommodate up to 14 guests in 6 rooms. Should he need it, it can also hold a 24-crew complement. It also has a pool, which seems somewhat odd when surrounded by water, so it's lucky that the pool doubles as a dance floor for when he wants to cut some shapes. This vessel is reportedly worth around $20 million. He has one worth $35 million, although this one was technically a gift. One worth $1.5 billion, but the details of the boat remain a mystery. He allegedly has a 4th one, but we also know nothing about this one too. Have you heard about his car? In the same style as the POTUS's Beast, Vladimir's Iris Senate car is the latest ultra-luxury car bulletproof glass armored-plated protection mobile. It has reclining leather seats with designer pillows, a little mini fridge with champagne in it, and had modified suspension to make the vehicle sturdier. Thankfully, he didn't have to pay for this one as it's covered by the state. However, it's still worth upward of $170,000. Another crazy collection of Putin is his fleet of aeroplanes. His pride and joy is a $70 million IL-96 300PU, his personal flying fortress and mobile command base. This luxury plane has got a conference table, it's got white leather seats, and it's got neoclassical gold trim on everything, from the tables to the toilet bowl. Apparently, he's got over 15 other planes and helicopters that accumulatively hold a value of well over $100 million. Then there are his more personal touches. Here's a few of his most notable pieces. A Patek Philippe 528P watch, one of the most technically impressive timepieces in the world, worth around $1 million. This company has a very selective clientele, but it appears that this too was a gift. Once dubbed the Man in Black for his business wear, his suits rarely are worth below $5,000 each. A wardrobe of these would be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I heard that his stylist removes all the high-end labels to ensure he still appeals to the everyman. Once when he was pumping iron, we saw him do it in style, as he was wearing a Loro Piana luxury Italian tracksuit worth $3,220. I'd be afraid to sweat in that. It's rumored that he has secured himself a $2 billion art collection consisting of pieces from Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Rembrandt, and over 100 more, formerly belonging to a collector named Nina Moliva. There you have it, a speculative taste of what could be the richest man in the world could have in his vast wealth. It appears that through systemic corruption and a lot of elbow grease, Putin has placed himself in the annals of history among the most accomplished, powerful, and wealthy men that ever was. Here's a question I've got. If you were given $200 billion but only given a year to spend it all, how would you do it? Let me know in the comment below. If you like this video, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next video.